There's a simple plant growing quietly across North America right now. Most people walk past it every day without even noticing. It looks like just another piece of grass, but it is not just any grass. This plant has been used for hundreds of years in a very smart way, long before modern sprays and chemicals existed, long before store shelves were filled with bug repellents. 2 Native American tribes already knew its power. They used it to keep mosquitoes away from their skin, and they did it naturally. No chemicals, no fancy bottles, just a plant. And here is the surprising part. It smells amazing. Not bad, not strong in an annoying way. It actually smells like fresh vanilla mixed with clean-cut hay, a soft, warm, natural scent, the kind of smell people usually enjoy. Now imagine something that smells that good, and at the same time keeps mosquitoes away. Sounds almost too good to be true, but it is real, and it gets even more interesting. Scientists actually tested this plant in a lab. The test was done by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. They compared this plant to one of the most common bug repellents used today. That chemical is called DEET. It has been sold to the public since 1957. It is everywhere. Sprays, lotions, wipes. Most people trust it without question. Now here is the shocking part. This simple plant performed just as well as that chemical in the test. Not a little close, not almost the same. It matched it. Exactly. Think about that for a second. A wild plant matching a lab-made chemical used by millions. That is not something you hear every day. And there's a reason you probably never heard about it before. Because a huge industry depends on people not knowing this. We are talking about billions of dollars every year. Companies selling sprays and repellents all summer long. They are not exactly excited to promote a plant you can grow yourself. Now let's talk about the plant itself. It is called sweetgrass. It grows across Canada, across the northern United States, and even in parts of Europe and Asia. So this is not some rare or hidden plant. It has been around for a very long time. Native American communities used it in many ways, not just for insects. It was part of daily life. It was used in ceremonies. It was used in medicine. It was even woven into items like baskets and clothing. People would braid it into long strands, almost like natural ropes. They would burn it like incense, letting the smoke spread through the air. But 2 tribes used it in a very practical way, the Flathead tribe and the Blackfoot tribe. They figured out how to use it to stop mosquito bites. Before going outside, they would expose their clothes to the smoke, letting the scent soak into the fabric. Sometimes they would carry small bundles of it, placing it inside their clothing, keeping it close to their skin. And it worked. It really worked. This was not a guess. It was passed down through generations, shared through stories, and later written down by researchers. But for a long time, scientists did not pay much attention. They knew it worked, but they did not fully understand why. And that question stayed unanswered for years, until someone finally decided to take a closer look. A research chemist named Charles Cantrell wanted to find the answer. He worked with a team at the USDA, and in 2015 they started testing this plant in detail. What they discovered would finally explain something people had known for centuries, and once you understand how it works. So, what exactly did the scientists do to figure this out? And they did not just smell the plant and guess. They took it into a lab and broke it down step by step. They used a process called steam distillation. That means they pushed hot steam through the plant. This pulled out the natural oils inside it. Those oils carry the scent you smell, but they also carry the active compounds, the part that actually affects insects. After collecting those oils, the team set up a test, not with people, but with mosquitoes. They created a special feeding setup. It was designed to act like human skin, warm, soft, and filled with a liquid that mimics blood, exactly what mosquitoes look for. Then they covered parts of that setup with the plant extract and left other parts untreated. Then they released the mosquitoes. What happened next was very clear. The mosquitoes went straight for the untreated areas. They landed. They tried to feed. But when it came to the areas treated with sweetgrass, they avoided them completely. They did not land. They did not bite. They stayed away. This was not random behavior. It was consistent, repeatable, and easy to measure. Later, the results were shared at a major science event, the American Chemical Society National Meeting. That is where the team confirmed something big. The sweetgrass oil worked just as well as DEET in their test. That alone was impressive. But they did not stop there. They wanted to know why it worked. So they separated the oil into smaller parts, different chemical pieces, 12 in total. Each one tested on its own, looking for the strongest effect. Out of those 12, 2 stood out the most. One is called phytol, the other is called coumarin. Both of these are natural compounds, and both are already known to repel insects. That means this plant was not doing something magical. It was using real, measurable chemistry. The same kind scientists study in labs. Here's the interesting part. The smell you enjoy, that soft, sweet, grassy scent, that comes mainly from coumarin. So the thing that makes the plant smell good to you is the same thing mosquitoes hate. Think about that. What feels calm and pleasant to you feels overwhelming and confusing to them. It is like two completely different experiences. Now, to really understand this, you need to know how mosquitoes find you. Because they are not just flying around randomly, they are actually tracking you, very precisely. Female mosquitoes are the ones that bite, and they are looking for specific signals. Your body gives off those signals all the time, without you even noticing. Two main ones are carbon dioxide and lactic acid. You breathe out carbon dioxide constantly. Your skin releases lactic acid through sweat. Mosquitoes can detect these from far away, up to 150 feet. That is how they find you in the first place. But it gets even more specific. Once they get close to you, they do not just land anywhere. They search for the strongest signal, the hottest spots, the areas where your body releases the most scent and heat together. These are called apocrine zones, and they are very important. They include places like your ankles, your feet, behind your knees, your wrists, your neck, and behind your ears. Now think about how most people use bug spray. They spray their arms quickly, maybe their legs a little, and then they stop. But mosquitoes are not aiming for those areas first. They are going for the exact spots people forget. That is why bites often show up in those hidden places. Now here is where repellents come in. A repellent works in two main ways. It can hide your natural scent, or it can overload the mosquito senses, so it cannot figure out where to land. DEET mainly works by overwhelming their system. It confuses their ability to track you. That is why it has been so popular for so long. It was originally created by the military, back in 1946, for soldiers in jungle conditions. Later, it was released to the public and quickly became the standard because it lasts a long time, up to 8 or even 12 hours. That is the key reason it dominates the market, not because it is the only thing that works, but because it stays on your skin longer. Natural options like sweetgrass usually last a few hours, around 2 to 4 hours. Then you need to apply it again. That is a real difference. And it matters depending on where you are. But here is the bigger picture most people miss. One is a product you keep buying again and again. The other is a plant you can grow once and keep using for years. That changes everything. Now think about this in a simple way. One option comes in a spray can. You buy it, you use it, and then you buy it again, over and over, every summer. The other option grows in your yard. You plant it once, and it keeps coming back every year. No extra cost, no trips to the store, just a steady, natural supply. That is the real difference people do not talk about. It is not just about what works. It is about what lasts in your life. Sweetgrass is not hard to find either. You can get it as a small plant, or even as a starter plug. Many garden centers carry it now. Online herb shops also sell it. It grows best in moist soil. It likes a little shade, not too much direct sun. You will often see it near water in the wild, like stream edges or wet fields. So if you have a spot in your yard that stays a bit damp, that is perfect. Even areas near downspouts work well. Once it settles in, it spreads on its own, slowly growing into a thicker patch. You do not need to babysit it. No complicated care, no constant attention. Just plant it and let it do its thing. A small piece costs just a few dollars, but it can give you years of use. Now let's talk about how to actually use it, because this is where it gets practical. You can cut a handful of fresh blades, then braid them together loosely, not too tight. You want air to move through it. That helps release the scent. You can wear that braid on your wrist, or even around your neck. You can hang it near where you sit outside, like on a patio or porch. You can also take a fresh blade and gently rub it on your skin. Focus on key areas, your wrists, your neck, behind your ears, around your ankles. These are the exact spots mosquitoes target. The natural oils transfer directly onto your skin, and the scent starts working right away. It smells clean and natural, not sharp or chemical. You will notice the difference immediately. If you are outside for a longer time, just reapply every few hours. It is quick and easy. You can also make a simple balm at home, something that lasts longer on your skin. All you need is beeswax and coconut oil. Melt them together slowly, then mix in sweetgrass infused oil. You can make that by soaking dried sweetgrass in oil. Let it sit for a couple of weeks, or gently warm it to speed things up. Add a few drops of lemon eucalyptus oil. This one is even recognized by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as effective. Pour the mix into a small container. Let it cool. And now you have a natural balm. Easy to carry, easy to use. You can also make a simple spray. Boil water, add fresh sweetgrass. Let it simmer, then cool it down. Strain it into a spray bottle. Keep it in the fridge. Use it within a week. It is simple. No lab needed. Now, here is something important, and this matters. If you are traveling to areas with serious diseases, like malaria or dengue, you should still use strong, proven protection like DEET or similar options, because in those cases, it is not just about comfort. It is about safety. That is the honest truth. But for everyday use, your backyard, your patio, a summer evening outside, This natural option works very well. Now step back and look at the full picture. A multi-billion-dollar industry was built on one solution, a chemical created decades ago. But this plant has been here long before that, used by people who understood nature deeply. They did not need patents. They did not need marketing. They simply knew what worked. And now science has finally confirmed it. The same compounds were always there. The mosquitoes always avoided them. Nothing changed except our awareness. And maybe that is the most interesting part. Sometimes, the best solutions are not new. They were just forgotten. And now you know. Now you have another option. A simple one, a natural one, a smart one. If this opened your eyes even a little, share it with someone who spends all summer using sprays. They might appreciate a better way. This is John Knowledge. And now you know something most people still don't.